Welcome to the Verdin Verdict Sports Show. I'm your host, Jacob Verde. We're bringing you a quick practice update. We got the practice highlights on the way. They're exporting. We just got them edited. We rushed back to the studio, put a little track over it, and here we go. We're about to drop them for you within the hour. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you do not miss any more practice footage. We got fall camp coverage coming at you pretty much, consistently throughout the month of August. We're going to have another one on Monday for you. We got two more big videos up our sleeves, two interviews, two LSU football players. We're going to give you an insight on that defense, and we're going to give you some CFB content as well on the side. If you got any questions regarding LSU, regarding LSU's camp, all this stuff, drop them in the chat. We'll get to them at the end of the stream. We're going to be doing a real quick stream because I want to make sure the internet isn't competing. We're not trying to draw too much out of that Cox Wi-Fi, man. You know sometimes that they're finicky about that. But what I saw today at LSU's camp, besides it being blisteringly hot, was everybody's working hard. Everybody's ready. We got less than 30 days about at this point for the USC kickoff in Las Vegas, and the team looks conditioned. It looks like they're going to be able to, withstand the potential test of USC. If you ask me, obviously everyone wants to know how the defense is doing. Well, there's a couple of spots where I've been impressed, and then there's a couple of spots where I could see that they need work. It's kind of a work in progress. It's not a patchwork defense. It's not something you're going to have to be worrying about, something you're going to be ringing alarm bells for, nothing of that nature. The offensive side of things, it looks about as you would expect. I mean, Joe Sloan has a pretty damn good group to work with. I mean, you've got a deep wide receiver room. You've got a very talented quarterback in Garrett Nussmeier. You got a pretty good backup quarterback system as well. I mean, no matter what route you go, seems like they're aiming towards Ricky Collins. Even if not, you got A.J. Swan, who can still be a trusted arm in the pocket at the time, has to prevent itself. Um, Moving to the running back side of things, you saw Caleb Jackson get some reps today. You saw him get some reps with the first team. You saw him get some reps with the second team as well. You saw him move around Josh Williams and John Emery. They're just kind of piecing everyone together, getting everyone to have even experience across the board with one another. The wide receiver room looks deeper than ever. I mean, their main three that they're going to roll with will be Kyron Lacy, Chris Hilton, C.J. Daniels, and C.J. Daniels could damn near be a wide receiver one. Like, I'm not even going to call any of these guys wide receiver one, two, or three. They're all wide receiver one. They're all going to get their touches. They're all going to get their targets. I mean, they're going to have a pretty decent season. It's going to make a lot of things easier on Garrett Nussmeier to transition into this quarterback role because a lot of people are always asking me, how's Garrett look? How does Nussmeier look? Well, he doesn't look like a first year starter in a good way. He looks like someone who's, poised. He looks like someone who's been around the block a few times. Now, credit whether it be the support system and his father and his family, just getting him ready for this moment, being around football their entire life, knowing the kind of path that you're going to have to go down. Also, credit to LSU and their developmental system because obviously the quarterback position's been getting treated nicely here in the Bayou. Before the last, I would say, two major quarterbacks in Jane Daniels and Joe Burrow, you kind of had a little bit of a limbo period where there wasn't any major LSU quarterbacks that you could point to. Now, flash forward in the last 5 years, you've had two Heismans. You got a potential to have another one if they have a breakout season. I'm not saying he's going to cash the ticket, so don't slam the parlay down, but it's not out the realm of possibility. With that being said, it just kind of shines the light on the situation that LSU has. A lot of talent around the quarterback at any given time. Then they're recruiting the number one quarterback in the 2025 class in Bryce Underwood, who's got a lockdown commitment. Seems like he's surefire going to be in Baton Rouge. He's wearing LSU cleats. He's always, taking the trip from Michigan, who, by the way, won a national championship during his decision period to LSU. Seems like everything's turning around, and they're going to be consistently at this level. I don't think you're going to have to worry about LSU. In a situation where the quarterback play falls off. So to answer that Garrett Nussmeier question, he's going to not necessarily fill Jaden Daniels' shoes, and I don't think he wants to, and I don't think Brian Kelly wants him to fill Jaden Daniels' shoes. He's not Jaden Daniels. It's kind of a ridiculous, assumption to make, but I think Nussmeier is going to have his own set of shoes, so to speak. He's going to have his own process, his own skill set, his own impact and impression on LSU, LSU's fans, LSU's coaching staff, or hell, even their opponents. Um, I feel like what I've seen from him so far is a calculated starting quarterback who really hasn't had any moment to, have a bad spot or really he's had chances. He's had the Georgia game. He's had moments where he's gone out and he's performed and he's kind of won people over. Even the bowl game, in instance, 14-0 deficit that they came into, still won the game. Sure, he had Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas and all of these pieces and whatnot, but there hasn't really been a moment where Garrett Nussmeier has gotten a chance and failed miserably. There's never been. I mean, has he thrown a pick six against Southern? Sure, yeah. He's a young guy. It's kind of a rough spot just because they probably weren't, and this is my assumption on it, but whenever you put Garrett Nussmeier in through the last couple of years, you weren't really giving him a chance to show what he could do. You were just running the clock out. You were up by so much that he didn't have, the best situation around him. Now you're in a situation where this offense tailored to him. You're not stepping into someone else's role. You're not stepping in whenever that other person's done. This is your team. This is your squad, and everything around it, from the playbook to the personnel to the lineup that they're going to be using consistently on a substitutional basis is all going to be cultivated to your needs. And that, I think, is going to be the biggest boost for Nussmeier. So what I'm getting at is you've seen Nussmeier be successful in the past. It's going to continue to evolve and get exponentially greater because that offense is going to be his. It's his team. I mean, Brian Kelly had a very funny analogy, but a great analogy, and I couldn't have put it in a better way. You know, it's not like he's just borrowing the car or renting the car, so to speak. And if you get a couple of dents on the car, I mean, it ain't your car. You just bring it back anyway. Now it's his car. If he gets a scratch, he's gonna have to get home and buff that thing out. You don't want any paint chips. It's just a whole different mindset now. And it's not saying that he didn't have it prior. It's just saying that that's kind of the transitional period, going from backup to starter. And I think that he's handled it very, very well. Another person handling change as well, Harold Perkins. You will see in our highlight video coming out in about 30 minutes. Blake Baker and Harold Perkins had a lot of one-on-one time today, and I'm sure they're getting a lot of one-on-one time more days than just today. But in front of us, you get to see him get that tutelage, get, that that knowledge from Blake Baker, get that breakdown of the game, kind of helping him evolve his skill set. A lot of people are wondering how Harold Perkins is going to play on the inside. I think he's going to play damn good just because he's ready, he's confident, he's open to the ideas. He's not just like ready to get to a quarterback, ready to get a sack, and ready to be on the outside like the fans are complaining about or like the fans are begging for. Sometimes letting these things work themselves out can pay dividends. Because if you've got Harold Perkins who can play inside, who can play within, that box, who can be an asset in coverage and actually like just demolish the pass game or be disruptive or help that secondary or whatever the case may be, then try it because without it, you would have never known what you had. Plus, this helps him get to the next level. This helps him develop. At the end of the day, it'll be very good for LSU to get sacks over and over and over, of course, but it'd be way better to see Harold Perkins succeed in the NFL and grow and reach his potential like he could. The kid's a superstar. He's got superstar tendencies, and a lot of people want to see him hit that potential. A lot of people want to see him get all over the field, get the sacks, get this, get that. Guess what? This might be his best chance to do that. It sounds crazy, but if you put him on the inside and every now and then you run him in a hybrid spot, you get him on the outside, you get him in a couple of different packages, you send him at the quarterback, he'll still have an impact, but he gets to be that MVP-esque piece of the defense, which he needs to be. He's the best player, the most talented player. He's someone they're looking to be the center point of that side of the ball. Can't disagree with them. I feel like that's going to be a pretty safe spot. Then you got Greg Penn playing alongside him. And Greg Penn is about as veteran can get. Not to mention the men up front, whether it be Tank, 5 year player. You got Savion Jones, who's getting pretty experienced as well. Parashan. You got a couple of pieces you can throw out there because some areas of this defense is going to be young. It's going to be new. Is going to have to kind of get thrown in the fire and forged a little bit. And sometimes you do that through mistakes. Sometimes you do that through busting coverages. So the more consistent and the more, talented, so to speak, for lack of a better word, that you can get those important pieces, like an inside linebacker, makes sense as to why Harold Perkins gets the nod. Also, seems like he's 100% confident in his abilities in that transition, and he's handling it well. Another thing I've liked to see is Major Burns move down to that star position. He's kind of playing like a linebacker-esque role, looks more like a nickel safety, moving in closer to the ball. It helps him out. He's getting more aggressive. He's going to be able to create havoc as well. I think he's just going to have to start getting creative with this defensive squad. They're really talented. You're just going to have to find where they're comfortable and how you can utilize them to be able to bolster this squad. But I don't want to give away too much. I got a lot going on. We practice with the note sheet with what I saw. I don't want to give away the whole video to y'all, though. It's going to be coming out, like I said, in about 30 minutes, the practice update. Right when we get off live, I'm going to go up, title it, thumbnail it, and drop it out to you. But our next practice video will be on Monday. Real quick, I don't know if anybody's been seeing the rumors, the murmurs, but I kind of want to put this one to bed potentially. And this ain't even my team to be handling rumors, but all over Twitter, you see Jackson Dart's name getting thrown around. Did Jackson Dart tear his ACL? Is Jackson Dart's ACL torn? So apparently, somebody on a Mississippi State message board or an Ole Miss message board started a rumor, started some, nonsense. About an hour ago, you saw Ole Miss social media admin post a picture of Jackson Dart looking 100% healthy, throwing some pig on the field during his practice, thinking that that is going to be a no-go for the old Mississippi State troll. I think that Jackson Dart's looking healthy, and I think he might have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder after this offseason, unfortunately. But I think Jackson Dart, talented kid, interesting situation. When they come to Tiger Stadium, they could be facing an undefeated LSU team. Neither here nor there, though. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'm gonna wrap this stream up here right now. We're going to be going live again Monday, every Wednesday, every Friday at around 11 a.m. If practice is at 10:15, that 10:30 range, we'll keep pushing the lives back. I'm going to be going live right when we're done editing those highlight videos for you. Like I said, practice highlights on the way right now. We got another one on the way Monday. Shout out to Happy Dad. Get it at Albertsons. Get it at Walmart. Get it at Rouse's in Louisiana. These guys, refreshing. I went and go play golf yesterday. Hence the band-aids ripped the shit out of my skin. And I'm horrible with the driver. So if anybody knows any tips to get your long ball better off the tee, please send them my way because it's been getting pretty grimy out there. I don't know how many times I can keep putting band-aids on the fingers because I'm ripping the skin off. But Happy Dad got us right on the links. Need to get right off the tee. Thank you to the boys for joining the team. Thank y'all for watching. Practice footage on the way. This has been the Verdin Verdict. Y'all have a great damn day.